very well known, I think, to many of you. He was a much-loved media celebrity on the New Inventors show for 8 years here in Australia, and now uses his experience and talents to assist local businesses in innovating and becoming more competitive in a digital world. Please welcome James OLaughlin.
All right, how to be innovative in 20 minutes, no swear words on slides. So I spent 8 years on the New Inventors trying to answer one question. How do innovators see opportunities the rest of us miss, solve problems the rest of us get stuck on? Let me give you an example. Recently in Pittsburgh, a science teacher gave his students this assignment. He said, I want you all to think of a way of saving the school money. A 15-year-old boy called Severe Merchandani thought about all the paper they used. They used paper, they got notes in class, notes to take home, homework on paper, etc., etc. And he knew they used recycled paper and printed both sides. But he thought about the ink. So he went home and he typed 300 words on a document on his computer and then copied those 300 words onto 3 other documents. So he had 4 identical documents, then he changed the font. You with me? Yeah? Hello? Yeah, good. By the way, that timer's not working, and I know you want to stick to time, so if you get it working, then I will. If you don't, you know, you're up your creek, really. Oh, no, I said I wouldn't swear. So he printed out the 4 pieces of paper, identical words, different font, and weighed them. Thank you. The difference in the weight must be due to the differing amount of ink, the different fonts used, because the pieces of paper weighed the same. You still with me? Yeah, good. So, have a look at the bottom one, Garamond. You can still read it right, but the letters are a little bit thinner. He found that if his school changed all their printing from the font they were using to Garamond, they'd reduce their ink bills by 24% and save $21,000 a year. He found that the US government printed everything they print on Garamond, they'd save $270 million a year, which is, you know, enough to buy another missile or something, so possibly good that they don't. But fonts are literally right in front of our eyes all the time. That's actually a correct use of the word literally. You know, when people say, he literally exploded. No, he didn't. That fonts are literally in front of our eyes all day, every day. We never think about them. And I thought, how did Severe see that opportunity for innovation? And why didn't the rest of us see it? And if we're missing that opportunity to do things better right in front of our eyes, what else might we be missing? And most importantly, how can we learn to see those opportunities and take advantage of them? How often do you have days, put up your hand, how often do you have days when you do not have a moment to think? Does everyone have those days? Yeah. Innovators think. They spend a bit of each day, not their whole day, but a bit of each day thinking about how they can take advantage of opportunities and solve problems. Not when they're tired. They're smart enough to know that innovation isn't something you do if you have time after you finish work. It is the work. And I'd suggest to you that if you're spending 100% of your time dealing with today's challenges, running your business, and 0% of your time working out how to make it better for tomorrow, then you may well be over-prioritising today at the expense of tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying it should be 50-50. 98-2. 2% of your time, that's about 10 minutes a day, thinking about how to do things better. That's all innovation is, thinking of ways and implementing them of doing things better. So, what do you think about? If you're going to think, great, what do you think about? Where are there opportunities for innovation? Well, let's turn that question around. Where aren't there? I guess there's no opportunity for innovation where things are perfect, right? When you find something that's perfect, don't waste any time thinking about how to make it better. I think the taste of Vegemite is pretty much perfect. I don't want them to innovate that. But they can innovate on how they manufacture, distribute and market Vegemite, the innovation isn't just about the products or services you supply to customers or clients, it's about every part of your business, your processes, your systems, your management style, how you deal with other people. And it's not just about big step changes, it can be tiny incremental improvements. So you might want to do this. Once a week, spend a bit of time, maybe a couple of hours every Tuesday morning, just looking for things in your business that aren't perfect. You don't have to solve them right away, but just make it up. Whenever you find something that you think in 10 years' time might be done a little bit better, make a note of it. And then each day, pick one of those imperfect things and spend 10 minutes thinking about how to make it better. The biggest obstacle to innovation isn't technological, it's not technical, it's not economic, it's psychological. If we don't find ways of stepping back and breaking out of that habitual thinking, we just take things for granted. We don't question them. We don't see that if we change the font, we might reduce our ink bills by 24%. So I want to run through a couple of strategies that might help you step back, break out of habitual thinking, see some opportunities to do things better, and then take advantage of them. The first one is to question everything. For example, a Dutch bike company sold most of its bicycles online all over the world, and they'd sell a bike and then they would flat pack it to their customers. It might be in America or Australia or wherever. They had a problem. A lot of their bikes were getting damaged in transit. So they looked at that problem. They questioned everything about it. They looked at the technical aspects of it. How can we protect the bicycles and the flat packs a little bit better? What can we do with our packaging? They also looked at the psychological aspects of the problem. And they asked this question: what can we do to make couriers treat our bicycles a little bit better? What can we do to make them handle the packages with more care? This is what they did. They didn't say there was a TV in the box. They just put a picture of a TV on the box. They even had the bike there too. Couriers saw the TV, changed their behaviour. The amount of damage to their parcels reduced by 75%. 75%. Question everything about what you do in your business. You might do 86 things. Ask about each one. Is it possible there might be a better way of doing it? 84 times you might say no, but you might find one or two opportunities to do things better. There are lots of answers in data, and there's a whole industry now about analysing data, particularly if you're in a small or medium business. It can be kind of intimidating. You think you're going to drown in the numbers. A great strategy is to look for relationships between different things. For example, a Victorian pool company knew there was a relationship between the weather and how many people went into their stores, looked at their website, rang their business. When it was hot, more people would inquire about a pool. That makes sense. Everyone who worked for them knew that. It's kind of obvious, they've known it for years. They tried to find out more about that relationship. And they analysed the data, historical weather data, versus all the leads that had come in through various sources. And they came up with one really clear, pithy bit of information that was extremely useful to them. And it was this. Our leads peak, people coming into the store, looking at where it's like, peak on the 3rd consecutive day of above average temperatures. So it kind of makes sense. Like, it's summer, there's a really hot day, people go, oh my God, it's hot, I wish we had a pool, but they don't do anything. Next day it's really hot, second day, oh, you say, oh, I wish we had a pool, still don't do anything. The 3rd day, they go, bugger this, I'm ringing a pool company. But finding out that bit of information was so useful to them because it meant that whenever they saw a clump of hot days coming, they would just pour all their marketing and advertising into when? The 3rd day, the day when people were doing things. Don't put it on the first hot day, don't put it on the second hot day. People are just whinging there, but they're not acting. Put it on the 3rd day. And they significantly reduced their advertising spend, but markedly increased its effectiveness. So look for relationships in your business that you might be dimly aware of? They might be economic, they might be seasonal, they might be, you know, when school holidays are on, this happening. See if you can find out more about them, and it might lead you to be able to improve things. This is probably the most useful strategy. Think like a customer. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. Interact with your business as a customer. I met the head of supermarkets from Woolies. He tells me he goes into customers' houses, looks in their cupboards, looks in their fridges to try and get insights as to how they shop. I assume with their permission. I don't think he goes around at night with a crowbar. I don't know, maybe he's in your place right now. Be brave enough to ask your customers and clients how the experience was for them, and ask them what didn't work. Where could we improve? Get someone you know to interact with your business, to ring your business. Ask them, you know, how was the experience? Were people helpful? What could we do better? So if you're getting squeezed or disrupted on price, what have you got to offer your clients and customers based on your experience and expertise in the industry that'll make them come back anyway? Finally, it can be a good exercise, a useful exercise to ask this: what do you want your customers to do, and how can you get them to do it? So an American shoe company, sports shoe company, went through this exercise, and someone said, they said, what do we want our customers to do? What would be the most ultimate, or I couldn't decide whether to say ultimate or awesome, so I went, what would be the most ultimate and awesome thing our customers to do? This one guy, this young guy said, wouldn't it be good if whenever they're in a competitor's store, we could somehow get them to run out of the competitor's store and run as fast as they could to our store? And there's the first thing right, they said. They didn't say, shut up, that's stupid. They said, that's interesting. And there's what they did. They had an app, right, that a lot of their customers had. They put a geolocation device in it that you could opt in or opt out of, but no one opted out. Whenever it detected that one of their customers was in a competitor's sports shoe store, their phone buzz, they pulled it out, said 99, 98, 97. If they got from the competitor's store to their store, by the time the countdown had got to 28, they get a 28% discount. If they ran faster and got there when it said 37, they get a 37% discount. So people were literally going into competitor stores, pulling out their phone, and then sprinting out again. Can you imagine how demoralising that must have been? Now, I'm not saying that's a viable business strategy, but they did it for a few months, got them a hell of a lot of publicity and a hell of a lot of business. The last thing I'll say about thinking is that it is hard. You know, if you take my advice, look for opportunities of innovation, write them one down on a piece of paper and look at it, and turn your phone off and spend 10 minutes thinking about it. It may well be that very soon you'll feel a bit bored, a bit frustrated, mate, you might even feel stupid. If you feel like that, that means you're doing it right. That's how everyone feels. That's how every single innovator I've met or read about feels. No one ever says, well, I sat down and nailed it, took 8 seconds. It just doesn't happen. I said innovators weren't smarter than the rest of us, and as a group, honestly, they're not, in my experience, but they are a bit more bloody-minded. They will sit in that uncomfortable space where nothing much is happening for a bit longer, and if you do that, sooner or later, you will have an idea. And it might not be a great idea, but after that, you'll have another idea and another idea, and eventually, you'll have an idea that can improve your business. So that's all about what you can do in 2 minutes, 48 seconds. How can you create an innovative organisation? So the job of leaders is to make it clear to everyone that innovation is part of their job, and then create systems to allow it to happen. You do that by getting people to think, valuing their ideas, and using them. How to get people to think? Duh! That's so obvious and yet so rare. Make it clear, it's part of everyone's job. Most organisations treat innovation as, I said, hey, we're going to have an innovation campaign for a month, and then never think about it again. Make it clear it's part of everyone's job. It's not an extra thing. It's a KPI. I recommend 2 ideas per month. Everyone's got to have 2 ideas per month. They don't have to be good, they don't have to be implemented in the business, but they have to be something. And if you don't have them, that's a KPI. high that you've, and share them that's a KPI that you haven't met. If you think innovation is important, act like it's important. Remind people about it. Send people an email on random days saying, have you spent 10 minutes thinking about how to make our organisation better today? Value people's ideas. Don't have an anonymous email address. Have half an hour a week, Tuesdays 3:30 to 4. That is the time you're in your office when people can come and pitch your ideas. People should be able to pitch an idea in 2 minutes on one sheet of paper. Set out the problem, solve the problem, explain what they want to happen next. And when someone pitches you a terrible idea, thank them. Thank them for having gone to the effort of having it and for having the courage to walk through the door and pitch it, because then they'll come back with a good idea. If they had a terrible experience, they'll go, oh, it was terrible, and the guy who was going to come in with a great idea won't, because he thinks, oh, I don't want to get humiliated. Everyone feels insecure about ideas before they have them. And then you have to use the ideas. Be accountable for what you do with people's ideas and have a clear, credible and transparent system for taking 20 ideas and finding out which is the one that's going to make a difference to your business. So make it a system, systematise it. Have accountabilities, timelines, how many resources, how many ideas are we going to take ahead a month, whose responsibility is it, when do they report back. I've written a book that sets out these ideas in more detail. I feel a bit uncomfortable plugging it, but I still did. Finally, innovation is an adventure. It's an adventure that is available to all of us. Having an idea, taking it out into the world, seeing how big it can get. I invite you all to have that adventure. Thank you.